Help Us Astrology at helpusastrology.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to do the May 2019 video for the whole month, and I will include both the new moon, which is going to be in Taurus, and the full moon in Scorpio in this video. So when we look at the beginning of May, we've got Mercury very active. It is forming squares with both Saturn and Pluto, and then it forms a trine with Jupiter, which is now retrograde. So to me, this just sets up a whole kind of busyness type activity where we're going to be communicating with a lot of people, thinking a lot, and just generally busy. Going around speaking to people and doing things, getting things done. That's what this boils down to. So the first thing we have of significance coming up in May is on the 4th of May, and that's the new moon in Taurus. It's at 14 degrees of Taurus, 10 minutes, at 3:45 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We have a couple things happening in terms of transits that affect this. We have the sun and the moon will be sextiling Neptune. So this sets up a very nice opportunities to think about our dreams, have dreams that are meaningful, and also it spiritualizes this whole new moon for you. And just gives you a lovely dreamy type feeling around it. But the other thing we have Mars is opposed a Jupiter retrograde. So to me, this says, the first thing I thought of was boomerang effect. That be careful about pushing things too much or feeling that you have the right to push things because they may bounce back at you. And we may see this actually playing out in the collective as well as in our individual lives. So just bear that in mind when you want to push especially pushing your ideas, especially your ideals. You know, Jupiter retrograde could represent ideals that you maybe have to rethink. And with Mars wanting to take action, being in opposition, it's butting heads with maybe different types of idealistic or idealism. Where not everyone thinks the same way as you, but you're still going to push it. It may come back to you, so be careful about that. You know, we have, as an influence in the background, we still have Pluto and Saturn conjuncting. We have the south nodes there too. That's a little bit out of order, but it's still there. And this is just pulsating in the background, really putting kind of a lot of pressure on people to let things go. And you know, there's going to be those people that are going to be clinging onto things, saying, I cannot let this go. But circumstances keep coming up, pointing to the fact that you do need to let go. Now, for most of us, we're going to just have stuff come up where we're going to say, you know, this is the 5th time this has come up, and this isn't really serving me, so I need to change it up. Changing it up could be a big thing, could be a small thing. It could even be adjustment in yourself that you need to make. But that's a background kind of energy that will be operating all month. Change. The 7th of May, we have Mercury going into Taurus, and it will conjunct Uranus, which is already in Taurus. Well, this is like a big spark for out of the box type thinking. So use that day, especially for those that are maybe scientists or work in science type fields, or those that say in advertising or copy type things where they need to use words, thoughts, and messages to the public and to like things of beauty or in clothes. You may find that you get some really good inspirational messages that you use in your advertising campaign, for instance, or you just may get some really unique thoughts about, you know, Taurus also represents your values. It represents the money that you make. So you could just get some spark of inspiration or receive a message too. So this can be a number of things. It can be the thoughts inside your head. More likely it's going to be that. But it could be you receiving a message. And it'll be out of the blue message that comes through that is very positive for you, that it gets you going. When we look at the 10th of May, we have a Venus still in Aries squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So this is a very intense emotional day. You know, it suggests that change needs to happen. And with a square and Pluto involved here, just be very careful about to resist any coercive tactics, you know, or clinging to a crumbling situation. Both these types of things can be there. So it could be that person that no matter what, they're going to cling to this thing. That could be a dynamic that's going on around the 10th of May. That's not a good thing to do, but it's also subversive type tactics so that you can keep that thing that you want to keep. I caution you against that. Use this instead to just look at what this is in front of me that's either crumbling or needs to change or is causing me this intense emotional reaction. Why is it doing that? Instead of jumping into it, stand back from it as best you can and see, well, why is this? Try to be objective about yourself. That's always hard to do. Or you know, consult with a friend if this is a particularly intense day emotionally for you. The 14th of May, we have Venus sextiling Mars, but it's at a critical degree of 29 degrees. So to me, this says that I think this is love relationships, it could be friendships too, and it could also involve our money, but at a critical degree, it's bringing all these things to a head. So I would say that what you need to do here is to look at where is this relationship going? Where have we reached? And you may say, the answer may be, well, we've reached that critical tipping point where we're going to move in together. It may be as simple as that. Or, hey, we really like each other. Let's make this a permanent thing. But it could also be you taking your money and having an opportunity to put your money somewhere that it actually works well for you, or that you can use it in a way that works well for you. When we look at the 15th of May, we have Venus going into Taurus, which is lovely. Now Taurus rules Venus, so she's going to be very comfortable here. So Venus will be nicely activating things like wanting to feel and experience everything from a sensual standpoint. So that's like having that absolutely fabulous meal. That's like going for a massage. That's listening to beautiful music. That's like going to an art gallery. That's like buying a beautiful piece of art. That's like beautifying our home. These are all types of things that will come up with this Venus now in Taurus. It's in its home sign, so it's going to be making us all feel good. On the 17th of May, we have Mars going into Cancer. Remember, that's where we've got our north nodes right now. And this could provide a number of things. It could provide a lot of action and activity in our homes, literally. So there's a lot of comings and goings in our home from the 17th of May. It can also bring up, for some, anger or assertiveness, maybe even aggressiveness in the home. So that's something I would say I want to caution you about, is that you may feel like yelling at somebody in the home, because for the 50th time they keep leaving off that cap on the toothpaste, or they're not putting something in the fridge that they leave out for 2 hours. I don't know. But something along that line. But for most of us, it's going to be high activity of people coming and going in our home. Now, on the 17th of May, we also have Neptune trining the north nodes in Cancer. And we have this aspect happening through most of the summer. But the most important part of it is going to be from mid to the end of May. And the reason for that is because it's going to directly affect the first 2019 solar total eclipse, which is a new moon, and that's going to be in Cancer at 10 degrees on the 2nd of July. this is where Neptune at 18 degrees is going to go retrograde. So this is an important point right now for Neptune, right, in terms of its cycle, especially with regards to going retrograde. It will go retrograde at the eclipse, and it is a time period where between now and then, but especially the last half of May, you really need to develop your spiritual side. What I've done is I've produced a extended video on this aspect. I think it's that important, on Neptune trining the north nodes, and I go through each of the individual signs. So I'm going to leave a link underneath here to two things. I'm going to leave a link to my Facebook page and a link to my website, whichever one you want to go to. Go there and see an extended video. I go into each of the individual signs. So you can, and I've time-stamped all of these. If you don't want to listen to my intro, although I would encourage it, go straight to the timestamp that is for your sign. And I do it by ascendant, preferably, please. So what's going to happen on this 2nd of July total eclipse in Cancer with, Neptune going retrograde, is that the training wheels are going to be released. And you are going to have to trust and believe that this portal opening on the 2nd of July, this eclipse, is for your highest good. Destiny awaits you. So this, could be a 3 to 6 month thing where it takes that long to manifest or to really show you what it exactly is. But it can also be 3 to 6 months prior. And I know that kind of sounds wishy-washy, but that's kind of how eclipses operate. You can have it happening before, but you can also have it happening after, or you can have it happening on the day, on the 2nd of July too. The most important thing for me is for you to be prepared for this, and that's why I have created this extended video on this particular aspect. So check the links below, and please just go in and listen to it for your sign. So your intuition is going to be high, certainly. It's going to be high all the month of May, but certainly from the 18th, where it's going to be trining the north nodes in Cancer, it's going to be very high. You're going to be, when we talk about the north nodes, these are things where you're going to have people come in. You're going to have events happen. You're going to have things happen. You could have major changes in the way you think. So they're turning points, but there are also points where things actually happen. It's not just you thinking a certain way. And so that's why it's so important with the Neptune aspect of adding spirituality and letting go of your ego. So the most important thing, wherever Neptune is in your chart right now, so Neptune in Pisces is at 18 degrees Pisces. Look at where that is in your chart. Generally speaking, this is where you're supposed to be letting go of your ego. And I do go into detail for each of the signs to help you better understand it. But for those that aren't going to be going to that video, I want to give you enough information to go with. Coming up right after this 17th, connected with the 17th of May, Neptune trining the north nodes, we have on the 18th of May, the full moon in Scorpio. So this full moon in Scorpio will be at 27 degrees Scorpio, 39 minutes. It's going to be at 12:12 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. You will have Mercury opposing this, this full moon, and in turn, of course, it'll be conjuncting the Sun. So to me, this says, around this full moon in Scorpio on the 18th of May, you will probably have some secrets and hidden information come out. Now, I don't know, I'm just thinking, hidden information in the collective. I'm thinking there may be some more information spill out with regards to a number of things. This whole Me Too, Harvey Weinstein thing. There could be some more stuff come out. Or maybe this full moon will bring some kind of closure to this thing that's been going on for some time. But it could also be to do with this whole educational system thing, because that was secrets. Those are secrets. Those were hidden information at the very least from the public that have now come out. There may be something around that as well that comes out. Maybe it's a lot bigger than we thought. The full moon itself also has a lovely aspect of Venus conjuncting Uranus. So this could bring unexpected love interests into our life. You know, Venus is love and Uranus is unexpected. It also could bring an unexpected personality type thing. There may be a personality that you would not normally go for could come in at this time too. So be open to the type of person may not fall into what you traditionally are attracted to, but that type of person could come in at this time too. So watch out for that. It could also mean unexpected money. You know, Venus is always associated with money too. It's associated with values as well. So we could individually, you know, decide our value system is going to change around this full moon in Scorpio. On the 29th of May, we have Venus now in Taurus, trining Saturn. And Saturn is exactly sextile Neptune. So to me, this sets up a potential for a spiritualized type love relationship in your life, or developing or realizing or being shown that this maybe new relationship, say that you discovered around the full moon in Scorpio, actually has some real solid things about it that are very spiritually oriented, that you're very attracted to. Certainly with Venus in Taurus and then Saturn, these are both kind of grounding type energies. So you will feel very secure. You will feel this has longevity. That's what this gives it. But the Neptune too, it gives us this more spiritualized, idealized love as well. But it's just not all airy-fairy or a fairy tale. With that whole Saturn as part of it, yeah, maybe it is a fairy tale, but it's also going to be grounded fairy tale. We have Saturn conjuncting the south nodes, and of course then it opposes the north nodes. And this is just finishing off the month saying that we really need to, you know, consider letting go of things and being mature. So being mature about and wise, you know. Saturn also is like the wise man. It's like, you know, the tarot card that the Hermit can very much be. It's also Virgo. It can represent, but I've always felt that Saturn is a wise man as well, potentially, that has wisdom behind it. So maybe after all this great activity that we've had over the year with the Saturn, the Pluto, the south nodes, all, you know, producing some pretty intense energy with regards to what fits in our life and what doesn't fit in our life. What do we have to throw out and what do we need to keep? More in particular, what needs to go in order for us to grow as a person. I think there may be some more grown-up, mature type activities towards the end of the month that we all take, where we finally say, let's do the grown-up thing here, let's be mature about this, and to go about letting things go in a more mature way. All right, everybody. I wish you the best in May. Everyone should have flowers popping up through the grass at this point, no matter where you live in the Northern Hemisphere. I wish you the best. Please leave me comments and suggestions. I always love hearing from everybody. I'm going to leave some pictures towards the end of this video of both my dogs, but in particular Sam. Sam is the one who tends to always go to the bowl. I'm surprised he didn't do that this time. Go to his water bowl and drink out of it and then bang his bowls around looking for food. Sam is always on the hunt for food, even though he's slightly overweight. So I'm going to leave some pictures up of Sam and of his companion Sasha. Both these dogs are absolutely wonderful, and I'm very blessed to have them in my life. Bye for now.